The joinder between the Pentagon and the Vatican dealt with the usury of the hieroglyphics. So when you walk into and you look at the flag standards on top of the flags and you look at the hieroglyphics when you walk into the Pentagon, they were the same joinder symbolizations or symbols of what you see flying in at the Vatican in Rome. Okay, so when you look down at Rome, I am a keymaster at the Vatican. On June 16th, 2003, I became keymaster of the Vatican, and I also had in a tactical move on that, I had a key holder position. I had a female in there with me as well, so we were keymaster to key holder until she vacated and put me in open gate and closed gate scenario for keys, moving commerce and energy through the ley lines. So what that means is when you look at the Vatican and you look down at the Vatican, you'll see a symbol of what you see as a keyhole, but it's also the symbol of a womb, of a female's womb. You have the phalanx in the middle of that, which is the male sex organ for copulation. And so on specific dates, as this vessel Earth casts shadows between the sun and the moon, they do ceremonial things because it casts a direct line shadow through that phallus into the keyholes through the doors there at the Vatican, sort of similar to what you would see on the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it goes right over the Pope's chair and splits two keyholes. Now the unique thing about the Vatican, as well as the U.S. Supreme Court, is the keyholes are on the inside to lock the people in. So when you go up to the doors, you can't see any keyholes. But when you go inside of it, they have it all locked in so that you can't get out of their illusion. So I've sat down with the cardinals, had a conversation on that. Also a very interesting thing on the compass rose and the different hieroglyphics that come into St. Peter's Basilica. They have their gargoyles with holding the sands of time in suspension of neutrality, because there is no time. At that point, they do away with the time. So they capture the time, so they stay in control of it. So these are symbolisms that I've sat down with the Angelo Sedano and the cardinals over there, had deep discussions with about. This is why I am the keymaster of the Vatican. And I capture the calendar, and there is no capacity for them to use their commerce against the citizens of this planet. And so this is why I'm putting this documentary out here, to give the citizens closure that there's a system in play that they can use and that they can function within and have freedom and autonomousness with. Yeah, that's it. But that's how they capture time with the Gregorian calendar is through their obelisk triangulations and what they're doing there on that function, the keyhole womb. So as you look down at the Vatican and you see the phalanx and the womb and the keyhole looking thing, you also see the same symbolism when you look straight down at the Pentagon, or the same esoteric symbolism when you look down at Greenwich for the timelines, because they're all in the same shipping lanes. So they're all under the same esoteric symbolism for shipping. So I went to those locations. I mailed myself in those locations, and how I did it at the Vatican is I mailed a contract in there, and I gave them a call on the phone at 2 in the morning for 45 days. For 45 days, they spoke to me in Italian. At the end of the 45th day, I told them that I'm getting on the plane tomorrow, and I will be there in 3 days. Their words to me were, "We'll see you when you get here." So when I got there, I went to the post office and filed my contract under 3-day notice. When I came out of the post office, there was a nun waiting for my partner David Winkle Miller and myself, who told us she had been studying the quantum grammar for 5 years because we syntexed the Bible, proved it 100% fraud, and the Vatican was studying the correct parse syntax grammar on all Bibles on planet Earth. And she said, "I'm come here to give you guys carte blanche to go anywhere you want in the Vatican." So they gave us a tour, and we got to go wherever we wanted at the Vatican and meet the people and talk about the grammar and the hieroglyphics of what we were seeing and what we had created. So that was very, very, very interesting and very neat. So I just wanted to add that caveat in here. Um, when you look down at the Pentagon, and you look down at the same shipping lanes, ley lines, inside the Pentagon sits a post office, U.S. Post Office. But that post office is closed, for there's no authorization for the Pentagon to ship anything out of the Pentagon. And the reason why that is because I filed a contract in with them as Postmaster General, and they wouldn't freight forward the bills of the lading. Since they won't freight forward my bills of the lading, and I am the Postmaster General, I had to close the location, which I did. So they're functioning right now in fraudulent means, and they know it. And they don't have the power to move soldiers, they don't have the power to move contracts, they don't have the power to do anything. They have the trickery of planet Earth because they haven't told anybody the truth, but they don't have correctness. So the way that they're conducting contract on this now, or in this now space, is wrong. But before I came along, London controlled the money, the Vatican controlled the time through the Gregorian calendar, and the Pentagon was the enforcement of those contracts, of the time and the money. But since I disqualified London through fraudulent grammar, and since I disqualified the Vatican through keymaster, key holder mechanics, and since I am the Commander-in-Chief of the Pentagon, for I have the flag and I am the Postmaster General, all of those locations do not have authorization to harvest we the people of this planet, providing people of this planet have claims of the life and function in correct communication, parsec, syntax, grammar. In this documentary, you will witness my former corporate partner, David-Winkle and Miller, give closure on how the grammar works.